I want you to listen to me right now, because what we are talking about today is the difference between financial security in your retirement and an absolute healthcare disaster. You have worked your entire life. You have paid your taxes. You have visualized the day you finally step away from the workforce, and you assume, just like millions of other hardworking Americans, that the moment you cross that finish line, the federal government stands there ready to hand you your Medicare card. You think it is an absolute birthright. You tell yourself, I am a U.S. citizen, of course I get Medicare. Well, I am here to tell you today that if you believe every single U.S. citizen automatically gets Medicare handed to them on a silver platter, you are living in a fantasy world. And that fantasy world will leave you broke, uninsured, and living in absolute fear if you don't wake up right now. Let's strip away the confusion and look at the raw truth, because the question, do all U.S. citizens get Medicare, has a definitive answer, and that answer is no. They do not. Citizenship alone does not buy your entry into this program. You have to earn it, or you have to pay for it. Here is the problem. There is a massive, terrifying gap between what people think happens and how the system actually operates. The fear of getting sick in retirement is real, and it is the #1 threat to your nest egg. Medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy for older Americans. Yet, so many of you are approaching age 65 completely blind, assuming the safety net is already securely tied beneath you. It isn't. To qualify for Medicare, you must meet very specific criteria. Yes, you must be a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident who has lived here continuously for at least 5 years. But that is just step 1. To get the piece of Medicare that everyone talks about, Medicare Part A, which covers your hospital stays, and to get it premium-free, you or your spouse must have worked and paid Medicare taxes for at least 10 years. That is 40 quarters of work credits. If you did not work those 10 years, if you stayed home to raise a family, if you worked under the table, or if you immigrated to this country later in life and didn't rack up those 40 quarters, guess what? You do not get it for free. The government will charge you up to $500 a month just for Part A alone. That is per person. If you are a married couple and neither of you hit the work requirement, you are looking at an extra $1,000 a month just to get through the hospital door. Do you have an extra $12,000 a year sitting around in your budget just for the baseline premium? I didn't think so. And let's clear up another massive point of confusion that trips up thousands of people every single year, the great age mismatch. You are told that the full retirement age for Social Security has shifted to 67. So, in your mind, you think, great, I'll just wait until 67 to deal with all of it. Big mistake. A massive, catastrophic mistake. The eligibility age for Medicare remains strictly at age 65. It does not care when you decide to take your Social Security. If you retire early at 62, thinking you can just slide right into Medicare, you are going to find yourself in a 3-year health insurance desert. If you don't have a plan for those 3 years, one accident, one diagnosis, one trip to the emergency room will completely wipe out everything you worked 40 years to save. On the flip side, if you decide to delay your Social Security until age 70 to get that bigger check, which is a strategy one love, you still must stand up and deal with Medicare at 65. If you do not enroll in Medicare Part B, which covers your doctor visits, during your 7-month initial enrollment period, which starts 3 months before the month you turn 65, includes your birthday month, and ends 3 months after, the government will penalize you. And they don't penalize you just once. They tack on a 10% penalty to your Part B premium for every single 12-month period you were supposed to be enrolled but weren't. And that penalty stays with you for the rest of your natural life. You are literally throwing money down the drain every single month because you missed a deadline. The only exception to this rule is if you are 65 and still actively working at a company with 20 or more employees, and you are covered by that specific group health plan. If that is you, yes, you can delay Part B without a penalty. But if you are retired, or if your company has fewer than 20 employees, or if you are on COBRA, COBRA does not count as active employment coverage. I don't care what your HR department told you. The federal government says COBRA is not active group coverage, and if you stay on it past 65 without signing up for Medicare, you will be hit with that lifelong penalty. So, what is the actionable takeaway here? What do you need to do right now to protect your money and your health? First, you need to go to ssa.gov today. Create your account and look at your statement. Verify your work credits. Ensure you have those 40 quarters. If you don't, check your spouse's record, because you can qualify based on their work history, even if they are deceased or if you are divorced, provided you were married for at least 10 years. Know your numbers. Second, mark your calendar for 3 months before your 65 birth month. If you are already receiving Social Security benefits at that time, breathe a sigh of relief. The government will automatically enroll you in Parts A and B, and your card will show up in the mail. But if you are not taking Social Security yet, you must actively log onto the Social Security website and sign up for Medicare yourself. Do not wait for them to call you. They will not call you. You must take control of your financial density. Do not let ignorance rob you of the retirement you deserve. Get informed, watch the calendar, and execute the plan. Because when it comes to your money and your health, nobody cares more about it than you do.